I recently received a comment on one of my videos talking about a very important topic, and I wanted to address this because I kind of touched upon it in a previous video, but this topic is homosexuality. So I received a comment saying, I know you might not read this comment because it's a semi-old video, but I am gay/bi. I can't tell yet, but I'm scared because I have been a Christian my entire life, and I still am. But I'm scared about when I die, about where I will go when I die. So I want to thank you for this comment. I want to thank you for being so open about your experience and what you're experiencing in life. So I want to start off by saying I have never experienced anything personally with homosexuality, but I have very close loved ones who do deal with homosexuality. So this topic is very near and dear to my heart, and I've done a lot of research on this topic. What I am getting from this comment is that there's a fundamental problem with how we talk about homosexuality in our churches and in our secular media. When homosexuality is talked about in society, in secular media, it's talked about, in a very positive light. Now, homosexuality is completely normal. That's usually what you hear from the secular world. And in churches, you usually hear that homosexuality is a sin. From my perspective, from all my research that I've done, from everything that I've studied on the topic, I would say that neither of these are 100% true. Homosexuality is not completely normal, and homosexuality is not completely a sin. So I need to dig into this a little bit further, so hear me out on this. We have to make the distinction of same-sex attraction and same-sex sexual acts when we're talking about this topic. Because in many of our churches today, we simply combine same-sex attraction and the homosexual acts into this whole aspect of homosexuality, and we call it all a sin. And the secular media is accused of doing this too, where they combine same-sex attractions and sexual acts into one thing, into homosexuality, and they say it's all normal. Both of these are half of the truth. So when I say we have to make the distinction between same-sex attraction and the same-sex acts, we have to make this distinction because one is kind of, in a sense, normal, and the other one is sinful. So let me break it down. So we have same-sex attraction. This attraction is a disorder. With theological knowledge and philosophical knowledge, we can say that same-sex attraction is a disorder because it's abnormal. It's a disorder because that's not the way God intended us to be. God did not intend a man to be attracted to the same sex. God did not intend a woman to be attracted to the same sex. It's a disorder. But this does not mean it's a sin. The problem we have in our perspective today is we don't know exactly where same-sex attraction has come from. We kind of have this confusion about it. But theologically, what God teaches is that same-sex attraction is not a sin. It's a disorder, and it's not supposed to be that way, but it's not a sin simply by having same-sex attractions. And we can see this in Romans 1:26-27, where Paul says, "For this reason God gave them up to their dishonorable passions. Their women exchanged natural relations for unnatural, and the men likewise gave up natural relations with women and were consumed with passion for one another, men committing shameless acts with men and receiving in their own persons the due penalty for their error." So, what is Paul saying here? He clearly says committing shameless acts. They're committing the act of male-on-male intercourse. This is a homosexual act, and this is what Paul condemns as sinful. It's not the simple act of having the same-sex attraction that is sinful. No, not at all. Where it becomes sinful is when you act upon this attraction and you go out and you commit same-sex intercourse with another person. And it's not even just about same-sex attraction. If a straight man commits a same-sex act with another man, which does happen, say, like in prison, where men rape other men for a sexual release. These guys don't have same-sex attraction, but they're still committing these acts, which is sinful. The same-sex act is sinful. But the same-sex attraction that might be associated with these acts, might not be, is not sinful in itself. So let's review a little bit. So the same-sex attraction is a disorder, but it is not sinful. The same-sex acts are disordered, and they are sinful. So what does this mean? This means that if you are a person experiencing same-sex attraction, that you do need to come to the mindset that this attraction is a disorder. But you don't necessarily have to try to get rid of this attraction, because we see countless times where many people try to get rid of their same-sex attractions. You know, a person experiencing same-sex attraction will go to camps, religious camps, where they try to get rid of their attractions to the same sex. But we can see countless upon countless times where this just does not work. And it's very harmful to the person that's trying to get rid of these attractions, because it just doesn't happen. And they just beat themselves up over it, and they become insane because they're just trying to get rid of these attractions when they can't. There is some scenarios where people have been healed of this disorder, where people have been healed of their same-sex attractions, and now they don't experience same-sex attractions anymore. And that's a miracle by God. But this simply does not happen to everyone. So, if you are experiencing same-sex attractions, I highly recommend you do more research on this topic. I laid out the basics here. But if you're struggling with homosexuality, if you're struggling with same-sex attractions, please do more research on this topic. And I'll give you the resources here. I have 2 amazing documentaries that will help you very much, hopefully help you very much, on your journey to finding the truth on the topic of homosexuality. So I have 2 documentaries here. The first is called The Desire of the Everlasting Hills. This is an amazing documentary going through the testimony of 3 people that do experience same-sex attractions, but are completely chaste, completely abstinent in their sexual life. And they're completely living a godly life, and they're amazing. So please go watch this. The second video is called The Third Way. And this is more of a theological and philosophical, more of the thinking part of it. So please, if you're struggling with homosexuality, if you're struggling with same-sex attraction, please check out these documentaries. And it'll take about 2 hours of your time to watch both of them, but I highly recommend it, and you will be very happy you did. So please, if you have any questions, if you have any more questions on this topic, please leave them in a comment below this video, and I'll try to answer them as best as I can. But please seek the truth, seek God on this topic, be in prayer about this topic, and thank you for listening. So God bless you. God bless you all.